I can hear you, and your video is a lot smoother now.
Okay, so. Thank God.
Am I good?
Yep.
Yeah? All right.
We should start every one of these when we have a guest with like a little...
Just a little dance?
Yeah, let's all just shake it out, man.
Yeah.
That would really throw off the people who know us.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, let's get loose. Let's talk about some health.
I don't get loose often.
No, me neither. I feel like it takes more effort and pain for me to get loose than it does for me to stay tight. So I just stay tight.
Yeah. I've been feeling a lot better lately, though. And like basically since I started seeing this therapist, I've been making sure that I go out into the woods a lot. The problem is, like, once I get into that habit, I get addicted to it.
Yeah.
And so then I'm just like, well, why am I working right now? I'm just gonna go to the woods. and I start thinking that I'm a monk, and I just spend all my time communing with nature, which is lovely. But yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to get addicted to, though, because it doesn't make any less sense than life, than society.
I know.
It kind of makes more sense. It
makes way more sense.
Yeah.
That's why I do it.
Yeah. It's amazingly peaceful to do that.
Yeah. I have this like neighborhood trail near my house, and I've just been going out there and just sitting by a river.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Sit by the river for like 10 minutes and just kind of clear my head, and then I read for a bit.
Nice.
Occasionally we'll try to write some lyrics, but like I try to be out there with no purpose.
Yeah.
You know, and the purpose, like I always bring up books that I can read, but just I try to be out there with no prior engagements in my mind, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of important to set out that way too, because it's harder to undo it. You know, like once you like realize, oh man, I wish I was doing this aimlessly, it's hard to put everything aside and start to go about it that way.
I remember there was a time when I was meeting some friends out in Northampton to go to a concert, and every time I go out to Western Mass, I set my itinerary all wrong. And I end up going like, all right, there are all these landmarks that I want to stop at. There's like a trail that I want to visit and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to this concert, and I end up like not taking the highway as much as I should.
Yeah.
If I have limited time. So I'm like, well, yeah, I'll just take the back way, which is longer and it's better, but it's longer. But so I get to this trail that I want to go visit, and I can spend like a half hour on this trail before I have to turn back around and go back to the theater to see the concert.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I did not give myself enough time, and now I feel rushed. And like, what's the point of even being at any of these places if it feels like a rushed experience?
Yeah.
So that I find is really important when you're trying to just like enjoy being in nature. It's like you want to, often for me, I want to go there so that I can get some writing done with a clearer head and just kind of like sit there. But so much of that is having the time to enjoy where you are.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a clear head, or at least enough time to clear your head a little bit, then that enjoyment's not going to come. You're just going to feel rushed. You're going to feel like there's something you're supposed to be fixing.
Yeah. I talk about that with my mom a lot. We're both wired the same way with this. Whenever we go on vacation in any capacity, if say like we go out for a week, it's always miserable until, not like miserable, but like we're pretty wired up and pretty high strung until about Wednesday. And then we start to like slowly unlearn our habits and realize we're on vacation. And then like a day or two before we leave, we're good to go. We're enjoying it. We're like at the right pace. Like, want to read a book, read a book. You want to write, you write. And then you go home, and then you're back. And it's like, I never factor in the fact that it's going to take me however long to just get to the starting line. You know, like I have to just kind of come down from everything. It's weird how much stimulation we're getting at any given time.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
in the world.
Usually I'm like, if I'm not going to be called upon for anything else during the day, because I get really terrible service out in the woods. So I have to be like, all right, it's 3 p.m. I can reasonably call it a day at 4. But from this point in the day on, I don't think anybody's going to need anything from me. Like, I don't think anybody, like, any email that I respond to after this is going, like, I'm not going to have to do a follow up until tomorrow anyway.
Yeah.
So basically by 3 p.m., maybe even by 2:30, I'm just like, all right, I'm going out to the woods. I'm just like, the work day is done.
Yeah.
And I can just be free now. And then I basically have until I have to build in some time before the sun sets.
Well, it's
So,
especially important if you're kind of self-directed with your employment, because you and I kind of are, it's something that like it will never end if if you don't end it. It's very hard to actually know that like it's okay and it's actually incredibly important to draw that line really purposefully and kind of say like this is when my workday stops, because I find myself falling into that pit all the time. Like I won't sort of actually delineate part of the day as like this is now my time, because I mean I like what I'm doing, or I'm just sucked into trying to solve something, and then all of a sudden I realize I've just been doing this shit for 18 hours. I haven't read a book today. I haven't really even had a proper meal today. And that just, it's good sometimes, but it wears you down. So it's like you have to take that time for yourself.
yeah, that's definitely one of the problems that I was running into over the summer was that I was just on call all the time. And what I finally started to realize was like, no, I'm perceiving myself to be on call because I haven't managed expectations.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm always on somebody else's time because I'm always having to answer questions. I'm always whatever. And then I was like, well, I just need to give myself the fucking permission to not be on call. Like, if I answer all the questions in advance, then I need to answer. And then I wait a reasonable amount of time for any follow-up stuff. And I plan my day the way that it needs to be planned. There's no reason that I can't just leave the house in the afternoon and have time to myself. Like, it's only my perception that I'm on other people's time because I'm not doing things in advance or because I'm not managing my time correctly.
Yeah.
So like I'm on other people's time, sure, yeah, so a lot of the time, but then like serve their time when you need to, and then you can have your own time. But time is a funny thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard now, like with, I think smartphones really changed it. I was kind of resistant to getting a smartphone for a long time, and I am now resistant to getting a good phone because it's my little expectation manager, dude. It's just I put that thing in my pocket, and I don't know when the hell I'm gonna actually get a call or a text, or it's just kind of a toss up what's actually gonna get through. And I like that because I'm still connected to stuff, but it's very understood, I think, amongst the people that know me that like it's a crapshoot. Like I get like 60% of what I'm supposed to. And I don't know, there's something about that I find kind of freeing because it's a little bit of plausible deniability sometimes when I just need to take a me day. And it's also like, it just filters it. And there's nothing that filters anything anymore, which I find stressful a lot of times. It's really, you have to like carve out that time so deliberately that it seems like you can hurt somebody's feelings. Especially, that Facebook Messenger thing of the timestamp.
Yeah.
That's like the bane of my existence, man, because so often I'll open a message or something, because that's how I do most of my communicating, I find, is through that thing. And I'll open something and realize, oh shit, this is more involved than I have time for right now. I want to make sure I like give it the proper attention.
But you've already read it.
Yeah, and they now know that.
Yeah.
And so now I'm sitting there fretting about it for the rest of the afternoon, like, oh God, are they going to think I'm a dick because I like haven't responded to this? Like, I'd be freaking out if I were that. And then it's just this mess, So it's really, I end up having conversations with a lot of people and just say like, look, this is kind of how, oftentimes I'll open stuff on the fly or like in traffic or something, and I'll realize, oh, you're actually saying something more than like, hey, what's going on? And I don't want to just say LOL, like. So it's hard, man. It really, it wears me down.